Hey guys, and welcome to Beard Manners. I'm coming at you today with what I'll call our second take of my typical daily beard care routine. I done one of these ages ago. It was one of my original videos. It's something that people still ask about a lot, so I thought I'd do a newer one, a more updated one, just to try and help people with their routine. This isn't saying that this is the way you've got to do it. I'm not knocking what people do and don't do, but when people come to me because they like my beard or they like my product, I'm going to give them what I do. You know, we've all got very different beards, and you've got to follow who you want to follow. I'm not here to criticise what other people do. The only thing I will say with it, guys, is I'm not a big fan of people that put oil into their hands, rub it all in together, do this, and say it's done, because oil doesn't soak into the beard quite the way it does, or quite the way that butter does. People seem to forget the main purpose of oil really is for your skin and to replicate the natural oils that your skin would produce to help care for the skin under the beard. That's kind of what the purpose is. And when you just do this with it, that's where we've all been there, where you've got the white t-shirt with the yellow stains on. It's because you're putting this stuff on your beard, it's not soaking in properly, and it's just coming off on everything else. We all know you can put oil in your beard, 4 hours later do this and your hands are left with greasy fingerprints on. So I'm going to come to that in a little while. Every routine I'll start with my combing. When it's a morning routine, sometimes you might want to dampen your beard. If your beard's a bit like mine is in the morning and it looks like you've been dragged through a hedge and it's up here and down there and everywhere else, you might want to dampen it just to get some of the stubbornness out of there. I only wash my beard 2 to 3 times a week. I don't usually do more than that realistically. Again, dampening it, there's nothing wrong if you work in a dusty environment or greasy environment. But yeah, I'll get my beard ready and then I'll start with combing. I always start with a wide-toothed comb. I just find that these get the worst of the tangles out quite quickly. I always start from the bottom up. You can do whatever you like. Again, it's personal preference, guys. Again, there's no rules. You're not going to get arrested by the beard police if you're not doing what other people are saying. It's just giving you my thoughts on it. But I'll brush the main of those tangles out. And you can see my beard's actually okay at the moment. This isn't first thing in the morning. This is more of a demonstration than anything else and a talk over for you. One where I don't have to concentrate on what I'm actually doing, I can concentrate on talking to you. So I'll use that wide tooth comb. There's plastic, there's wooden, there's metal, get whatever you want. If it's plucking your beard, maybe change it for something else. You'll probably find wood doesn't pluck quite as much as the plastic or the metal, but you might have a beard that just doesn't pluck anyway. In all fairness, with a wide tooth comb, it shouldn't be plucking unless you're just not really combing your beard very often. I will typically comb my beard probably between 4 to 6 times a day. I can just feel it getting a bit tight. I've always got one of these in my car. I've got the carry ones in my pocket. That's something else I might do for you guys soon. Actually, is a carry video, top 10 carries. A lot of American guys do it, and I think they're great. But yeah, that could be a future one. But yeah, so I used the wide tooth comb, and my main purpose for the wooden comb as a first comb is that it just can handle the soak up of the oil. This has been the brush I've used since the comb I've used, since starting Beard Manners. I've got one in the car, I've got one in my wash bag, but this one's in my office where I would normally do my beard. I've had it since day dot. It's a bit darker than they might be, so the oil soak up, but you can just get all the oil in there. It doesn't feel greasy or nasty. That's why I personally prefer wood as the first comb. To counter that, after my first comb, I will always use a rake comb to get the more stubborn tangles out. You might see this as plastic. I'm a fan of Kent combs. Just to reiterate what I was just saying, I don't know if you can see on the camera here, but you can see that's got lots of fingerprints and has got, what I was saying about that, you've got the oil residue on it all the time. So that's where I'd have the preference to wood in some ways. But then I use this standard comb to get the more stubborn tangles out. And you can see straight away, that's pulling a little bit now. It's not going to take any hairs out because my beard's incredibly healthy. My shit don't pluck. Beard Manners prevents that. It doesn't, but good routine does. But yeah, so I'll finish off the worst of those tangles with the rake comb because I've already got the worst of them out with the wide one. That'll be the combing part of it done. This is where it then comes to the oil. As you heard me saying, I'm not a big fan of people that rub it into their beard. It's not the people I don't like. So I say I'm not a big fan of people that rub it in their beards. I'm not a big fan of the method of people that rub it into their beards. I just think you're gearing for it to come off all over everything all of the time. My personal preference is to do one of two things. Either get it into the ball of your hand, and then don't just rub it all into your hand. Again, because it's in the skin, it's going to really soak into your skin. Just use your fingertips. Get it into your fingertips as best you can. And then just massage it into the skin. almost like you're scratching it, because you really want to get it in there. You don't want to just get it on the skin, you want to get it into the pores. That's what's going to relieve that itching. It's what's going to promote healthy growth from within the pores. I mean, well, not growth from within pores, it's going to really look after your pores and look after your skin and prevent that itchy feeling. Get everywhere with it, get in your chin, your top lip. If you need to add a bit more, add a bit more. I've still got some on my hands there, look, as you can see. Again, going to plug myself. Beard Manners oil is an incredibly good medium content oil. It's got 2 thin oils, 2 thick oils, 2 medium. So it goes a very long way, even with a beard like mine. That was literally half a pipette you saw in there, guys, and it's still spreading very well. You don't need to go overkill with that, because that's what is just going to leave stains on all your clothing. It's getting too much in your beard. Now, by all means, once you've done this, oh sorry, I said there's 2 methods. So the other method is, I'm not going to put more on because I don't want to put too much in my beard. But that's where the second method is. What you can do is use the pipette to get it against your skin. Be a bit careful on the top lip because it will run down. As fantastic smelling as Beard Manners products are, they don't taste fantastic, so you don't want them dripping into your mouth. So you can get the pipette into the skin if you prefer to do it that way. Saves getting it all over your hands, and then again massage it in. Any excess, feel free to rub off on your beard if you prefer to do that. I tend to, with the oil in particular, just rub it into my skin. I keep saying it's for the skin. I've got tattoos. I find it's really good for tattoos and just my skin overall. So I'd rub the excess into my skin from there, or like I say, on my beard. Once I've oiled, I'll grab my boar's hairs brush. I tend not to use this for styling, and again, these are my own personal methods. I'm not saying you have to do this, but this is what I do. I use this almost as an exfoliating brush. And what I mean by that is I'm getting those thicker, and don't go cheap, guys. These cheap brushes that have got like the hairs that you can just push down that feels soft. This, I don't know if you can hear this. That is actually quite coarse. Now I use that to get right into the skin. Again, all over the skin. And this is just a demonstration, like I said, normally I'd get underneath the beard, I'd get everywhere. Because what I'm trying to do with this is really get that oil into the skin now. Because that's what I personally think it's all about. And it just feels so nice. I can feel it working straight away. So I use this brush for the exfoliating of the oils into the skin. Now, depending on what you want to do, let's just say this is a morning routine at the moment. If you're going to be out and about all day and you need your beard to stay in shape and look neat and have a bit of hold to it, this is where I would use the balm. Balm is perfectly good for your beard. It doesn't soak up to give the overall conditioning and nourishment to a beard that I personally feel a butter would. But the ingredients are there. It's just all good for your beard, a beard balm. There's absolutely nothing wrong with beard balm at all. It's obviously got the addition of wax in there, which is what gives you the hold and the styling. What the wax also does is you'll find a lot of people, particularly people with knowledge, will say to you that beard balm is great. But if you work in a dusty environment, beard balm might be good because it will almost give your beard a lacquer. If it's giving your beard a lacquer, it's not soaking in quite as well as it possibly could be. It can't do both. It can't really soak in and give a lacquer. So I think that my advice would be the balm doesn't perhaps soak into the beard to give it the goodness that a butter can. But what it does do is offer it a lot of goodness, and it gives it the hold and the finish to keep it lasting all day. I'm a huge fan of butter, but if I was to go to a wedding or a festival or a daytime event, I would use balm 100% all day long because I'd want that extra hold. So for the sake of a morning routine, use your balm. From there, you can finish off with whatever style brush. We all know I'm a massive fan of these vented round brushes. I am looking to get some more of these in soon, guys, but you can obviously get them anywhere. You know, and then just brush from there. If you want to use this slightly coarser brush to finish it off, if you want to, you can. And that would be my morning routine. Of an evening, I'd do pretty much the same. I wouldn't bother dampening the beard. It'd be more, I'd look at it more as like a top-up as a top-up method. I will wait till I finish doing whatever I'm doing, had my dinner, washed my hands, got myself sorted, had a shower. I'll then put a little bit more oil in, probably not quite as much because again, a good oil should be lasting you most of the day, to be honest. You're not meant to be saturating yourself in this stuff. So I'd use a little less oil just to get it in the skin again. Typically with me, I would normally put oil in probably between sort of 5 to 7 p.m.-ish. And then depending on what kind of evening I've got ahead, it would depend on what time I put the butter in. If I was going to chill out with the kids and the wife and watch a movie and was playing an early night, I'd just put butter in probably around the same time, about 5 to 7 p.m.-ish, let it do its work, soak in there and get in there. And you know, what we're saying about the balms, have maybe got that finish and lacquer, whereas the butters, they're just incredibly smooth. I mean, my butters, I actually use the label there. This is, I tend to reuse my jars and just top up. The good stuff's obviously for selling to the customers. Again, I won't use loads because I have already got a prepared beard. But you can see, and then just get it into your hand, just rub it in. My butters are designed that they rub down ridiculously easily, just like that. And then get that right into your beard. You want to get the butter in absolutely everywhere, get it in everything. You want to try and get that to soak into every bit of hair if you can, get right in there. And although you'll feel this on your hands for maybe an hour, 2-3 hours afterwards, particularly with a poured butter, they're quite obviously a lot thicker than a whipped butter. Although you might get it on your hands, what you'll find is it doesn't tend to do anything to your clothes because it soaks in very differently. On the poured versus whipped, it's a preference thing. I've tried both. I'm the type of guy that likes to try absolutely everything. I'm not a massive fan of poured. Of whipped, sorry. I can't help but feel with whipped that it's, you know, it's thinned down. It's thinned down by getting air into it. What you'll generally find is if you do a base mix of 10, by the time you finish whipping, you get more than 10. It's making the butter spread over a longer period, which is fantastic from a seller's point of view. But from a consumer point of view, I personally feel you're getting less goodness in a jar. No offense to the guys that do whipped. You can say whatever you want about poured. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But that's my personal opinion. It's heavier. It sits in your beard heavier. It's got more goodness in it per pound. If you're wanting feel in beard, then potentially the whipped might be the way to go because it's going to feel light and fluffy and you won't even notice it in your beard. If you prefer the heavier feel in a beard and you want the overall goodness for the beard, I've got to be honest, I think poured is the way to go. So yeah, like I say, with the times, I'd put the butter in about the same sort of time if I'm planning an earlier night. If it's one of those evenings, which is typical of me when I'm working late, I'm working on the website, I've got things to do, I'm maybe not going to go to bed till after midnight. What I would normally do is put the oil in the same time, always the same time the oil, 5 to 7 p.m. We've got a nighttime butter. There's no different ingredients other than scents with it. All of our butters have the exact same goodness. The reason I call it a nighttime butter is it's been made up of 6 all-natural scents which are proven to help relax and to help with sleep. I have got a very active mind. I run 2 businesses. I do a lot of exercise. My head's always going. I struggle quite a lot with sleep, but that really does help me out, guys. I normally put that. So if I'm having a late night, I'd put my Neuron night butter on roughly an hour before I go to bed. Let it set in, let the scent start working. I normally start to get a bit dozy by that point, go to sleep, and then you're leaving it in your beard to do all that work overnight. And what you find with what I'm suggesting as well with the time scales is that your beard's kind of constantly got, your skin's constantly got the oil, your beard's constantly got balm, butter in it. So it's keeping it constantly looked after. Some people might even do a 3rd edition of the products. It's up to them and up to their beard. The other thing, of course, is the tash wax. We all know I'm a huge fan of that. I like my tash. I'm a big tash lover. As we saw in my other video, that's my tash more naturally. As good as that is, I prefer that look, but you can't say I've got lips, you can't say I've got teeth, and it's a nightmare if I want to eat or drink or do anything. So, you know, to add to the routine, I won't put this on for the sake of it. This is the absolute joy of our tash wax. Anyone who's got a tash and uses tash wax, they will understand that the proper tash waxes, they're a bit of a routine in themselves, to be fair. They take a long time to do. You've got to really struggle to get it out there, get it between your fingers with your thumb, get it between your 2 fingers here. You've got to massage it in. It does a fantastic job, don't get me wrong. It'll keep your tash out of the way for days if you let it. But it's quite a mission to do, and your tash is just there. And me personally, I just don't like the feel of the wax. It's not the weight of it, it's just that it feels like you've got a plastic tash stuck on, and I don't like that. So this is the main purpose of our tash wax, is it's the convenient thing. I'll go out, if I don't need it, I don't use it. If I'm out and about, I pop into Costa and I fancy a coffee, and I don't want to use a straw or a sippy cup. This just sits in your pocket as and when you want to use it. Just nice and neat. You don't even need a brush or a comb with this. That's the other thing of it. You just get your tash out of the way. Sorry, the loose bit come off there. And don't just do the bottom, you need to kind of do all over your tash as well. Use your fingers to finish it off if you want to. And then as you see, my lips have come back. My teeth are kind of half come back. My tash is out the way. It looks very different to what it just did. And it will hold like this realistically for hours, even with my tash. But that's why I carry it as a convenience thing. You use it as and when you want it. You don't need it to last all day. Some people like their tash to look natural and down. And then if 3 hours later you pop out for a pint or your lunch break and you want to use it again, you use it again. So there you have it, guys. I hope that one is nice and easy. Like I say, it's just an updated version of the one we've already done. But that is my typical daily routine for my beard. As always, please feel free to drop me a message, to hit back to me, and more importantly to subscribe as well, because subscribing helps this all out for me. It makes it a bit more worthwhile. I don't get anything out of it, but it's a way of me seeing that people are using it and the content is useful. Again, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'll look at a new video soon, hopefully within a week or two. Perhaps the top 10 carries could be one to go for. But have a great one, guys, and I'll catch you all soon.